Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. This week it's just us, but we do have a theme show again. We're going to be doing Jaspers, but before we can do that, we have to do our intros and welcomes. So, Karen, if you do the honors, get us started there.
Yeah, warm welcome to the Rockhound Podcast again. And it is where all of your dreams come true if you're into Jasper today. And so we'd love to know what you're up to and where you're viewing from, and if you're spelunking or herding giraffes in the tundra or, brushing orcas' teeth. We want to know. And so leave that down in the comments. And I'm Karen out here on the beautiful Oregon coast.
And my name is
Ozone Rockhound.
I was like, I'm on time this time.
Foiled again.
My name is Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures out here in Western Colorado, where surprisingly it was cool today.
Lucky. And I'm Kyle with World of Rockhounds, where fire obsidian roams and so does the hot weather. At least on our side. Karen says that she has really nice, cool weather where she's at.
Well, yeah, it's something that is a bit of a push-pull between the valley and the beach over here. So if Kyle is toasty over there, it creates this inversion where, or convection, where it pulls in the fog. And so we were slated to have a beautiful day, and it was going to be sunny and hot, and I was going to be out there with the wet angle grinder, and doom of the fog comes in, and it knocks it down from 70 to 55.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so a sweater.
Want to trade?
Yes.
It is hot in this garage, so you guys all know.
I know. I can see the reflections right here.
Yeah, it's.
I take some polish.
Don't lick the rocks, but I can use my sweat. It's gross. Anyway, so that was our introductions.
Off to a great start.
Yeah, off to a great start. Shout outs.
You bet. First of all, thank you so much, Dustin, for being on the show last week. If you missed it, it's always so good. He's always so glittery and sharp, and so are his rocks. Let's see, those Haunted Ridge rocks were very popular in the comments, of course. The Sandmaker was checking in from Highlands, North Carolina, Michelle Stenton over there in Ontario, Canada, and Lisa Largent, 45, over here in Oregon. And I'm sure that she is toasty roasting as well. So let us know there in the chat. I'm sure you are. And she thought that first she was thanking us for bringing up that vanity plate question, because that was pretty interesting, the answers. And she thought that it was Discordian Greg also. So thank you. And Kyla Abiglen enjoyed Dustin being back on the show. And she thought that Theo should have the vanity plate rock dog.
Rock dog, yeah.
Because of the rocks and the dogs. And so he is not here to weigh in on that. So you'll have to wait until next week when Theo says,
"You can die of listeria from sherbet, I read once in my diary. Dog food is healthier than apples. One can manipulate face shape by angling camera in different ways."
Judy, same as always. Judy Rury got to meet Dustin over there at Haunted Ridge, and she really dug that. If you want to dig with Dustin, go to the Halloween machine dig in October. Book it now. There's information on our last podcast. So go check that out. And Johnny Rockhounding was making a suggestion about the incredible Missouri agate that Dustin shared. It's very, very lacy. And so people were saying that it's like the crazy lace agate, and people were coming up with some interesting descriptors in the chat. And he suggested certifiably insane lace agate for the nomiker for his. And I did see some pretty fun chat answers as well. So leave those in the comments if you remember what you said last week. And Rufotris popped in and found it suspicious that Theo always seems to be absent when he and Tyler are on.
What the heck, man?
We're going to have to ask Theo about that as well. but he's not here. So it's not personal. See, he's one busy dude. And so we're missing him, and we will see him next time when he can tell us what's going on. Speaking thereof, Greg D also had a vanity plate for you. And you have to go check the comments for that one. And he says if he can make it out to the Haunted Ridge dig, then so can you. All those people that were saying that they wanted to go. He's from Canada, so he made quite the trek to go hang out with Dustin. And good luck finding trilobites and crystals this weekend, Greg. Also, Rufotros came back to threaten everybody that if they join the Discord, then it'll be fun. Stop debating, stop thinking about it, just do it, he says. And also, while you're at it, Rufotros and Geode, Cracker and Collector also have a channel over there. So you won't be lonely just belonging to one Discord channel. You could join two. And then 1,000, because there's so many options over there. So if you want to join us, definitely hit us up in the comments, or you can send an email to our email that's in the description, and we will send you the invite, and you can show and tell and be totally random with us all week long in between podcasts. The Venture Closet, Val Summers, Julie McKenna, Blind Squirrel Rocks, Allison Mineralland, Cynthia Foss, and Cheryl Meshu Duggett, and all y'all in the chat digging it as we go along. And we love you all, and them's the shouts.
Thank you, Karen, for all the shouts.
Thank you.
Now get on into how everyone's weeks were. We'll start with you, Kurt.
My week was all right. I finally was able to get that 2,500 subscriber giveaway video out, and then within like 20 hours, like I noticed there was still like a second video pending, like it was trying to upload, and I was like, well, I don't want a second one to upload, so I hit delete on that one, and it deleted both of them. And yeah, so that was kind of a bummer. Lost all the so I uploaded that back up, and then I got hit with spammers. Same video.
Right,
in the
Kyle
comments.
helped you with that, right? Pointed out
I got a message from Kyle, Tyler, Sandmaker, and someone else saying talking about that, and I think one person accidentally fell for it, so hopefully that checks out and nothing happens there. And other than that, it's been hot, so I haven't gotten out, done anything except for today, going out and doing some cabbing on the flat lap. So
nice.
Pretty
Are we
much
gonna
been,
see that? Are we gonna see something?
a little later on.
Yay. Cool. Yeah, and your video, that was a super cool hunt, and I love the premise of your giveaway. That is so cool.
That
People,
was
you gotta
all
go check
Testy's
it
idea.
out. Go Tess.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Was that anything else?
Nope.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing your week. We'll give Karen a little bit more break since she did the chops, and so it comes back down to me. Let me see here. I just emptied out my barrels, tumbling barrels yesterday for the cleaning stage, so I actually turned it off for the podcast. So after the podcast, I had to empty everything out, clean them very well, and then begin stage 2 for one of the barrels, and then the polishing stage for the other barrel. Hopefully everything turns out great. And then it's been a hot week. It's been a very hot week, which means the shop gets really hot. In retrospect, I should have done the podcast in the rock room where it's cooler, but I don't get interrupted by Tucker in here. So
Ugly meows.
Kyle on the rocks.
the ugly meows get me. And but I have been working on some rose quartz here in the shop. I'm almost done with them. You guys get a nice little
The saga
preview. Never ends.
But this is like the only piece that's been sanded and polished all the way around.
Isn't that beautiful, people? Though seriously,
beautiful.
if you're seeing this and not listening to it, this rose quartz is insanity, and so at least it's worth all of this that you've been hearing about like for so long.
Look at that.
Look at that. It's beautiful. It looks like a gigantic gem, like on the Flintstones. You know, like put that on a ring for me. You know.
One of the other ones here. So it's not done on this side. This is the rough side. But all the way around it,
Wow.
it's been worked, and that's not even on the polishing wheel. That's off the 3000 wheel.
In an adventure.
I can't. I went to go put on the carpet wheel. However, with the carpet wheel, I run the chance of getting that the cerium oxide in all the cracks and crevices, and I don't want that because that means I have to take it to the pressure washer and risk having something chip out after I've already spent all that time in there, and I can't do that.
Yeah,
That
you
would
don't-
be like
Yeah, so
oh, a bomb
almost
going
done.
off.
So I've been kind of spending several hours here in the shop this week when it cools down a little bit after River goes to bed to get those worked. And I also finished polishing more obsidian. So remember how I talked about like doing like an obsidian week?
Yep.
I scrapped that idea. I'm like, everyone should know the processes of like how I'm like polishing this obsidian by now. So I'm just going to do the basic processes of showing like one piece, and after that I'm going to show it before and after like all the other pieces, because so I figured keep it easy. But one of the pieces is absolutely beautiful. It's not the one I showed last time. It's way better than that one. I don't think I can show it. Hang on, let me see. Oh gosh, it's way over there. Let's see if I can pick it up. So, you guys get a sneak peek. Everyone on the podcast gets a sneak peek. It would help if I did this again. I don't have the luxury of having a mouse because I swapped the mouse for a better camera. Okay, so this is the tricky part.
I'm seing something there.
Yeah,
You might have to overlay a like
I'll do
sexy
that.
shot.
I'll do
later.
that. Yeah, this camera doesn't do it
Do
justice.
something magical. Yeah.
But so I got the that obsidian finished. I polished a piece of obsidian for myself. I had to finish the customers first. I stayed focused that time because I went to the rock shop. I bought some obsidian, and out of all the pieces, there's a small little piece. I'm like, I'll polish this one because it's already like bright and flashy, and so I did that. So that I'll do. I meant to do a video showing off all the pieces I found at the rock shop, like within the same week, but I just been putting it off, and so I'll just do like my finds, and then I'll show off that piece, and then after it's been worked, so it'll pan out. Other than that, staying busy. So and that kind of does for my week, and we pass it off to Karen now.
Hey, yeah. So still spinning. The world is spinning really super fast. And so there's still a puppy pandalarium going on. Although that should quiet down after this weekend. So there will both be sighs of relief and tears about them going. And so we'll have a pup date later. And meanwhile, we have had some really nice warm summer days on the coast here, and so I got the wet angle grinder out, and I've been working on that. So some shorts are going to be coming up from that, and then I've been trying to fit the video editing in the cracks, and it is super difficult to be getting to. So in theory, I just released a video. So go check that out after you're done with the podcast. After we're done here, it's a beach hunt, and there's agates and fossils, of course. And it was a fairly decent little gravel experience, and so it's a good leisurely longish hunt, finding something that actually thrilled me, and so definitely check that out. But otherwise, I need to catch up on some sleep. And so if I don't make sense at any point during this podcast, you'll just know why. It's probably imminent. So
we got you.
good. Yeah, so that's it. That's pretty much been my week.
Well, thank you for sharing your week. So now that we shared how our weeks were, and we can now get into our Jaspers little theme. So what we can do is Karen, we'll have you go first with all your beautiful Jaspers and go from there.
Well, I thought just from the very top, it might be kind of cool to just put the definition out there. And so according to Merriam-Webster, it's an opaque cryptocrystalline quartz of any of several colors, and then they chose to especially green chalcedony. And so, something that tends to be one of those points that people love to debate over is it a nugget? Is it a Jasper? Is it a Jagged? Is it SiO2? Blah, 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 right?
Well, we'll sell this right now. Wait.
He's making a sign. Yes.
I don't know if it's going to show backwards or not, but I'll put it down here if it doesn't show.
A winning answer. But what's interesting is that there are a lot of different occurrences in the market of things that are even misnomers that say that they're Jasper and they aren't, like bumblebee Jasper, ocean Jasper, rainforest Jasper. They're rhyolites. And so, there's tripping points. Is it a mineral or is it a rock? And I'm pretty sure that Jared would love to be on that show. We should actually have that show. Like everybody buzz in, like or write the note, like. So, anyways, what?
That's a good idea for a podcast. We just have like a quiz podcast. Just have like, what is this? Or just have a description of what it is, and have like a multi-choice thing in like down below, and then have people in the chat like. They're like, oh, it's B or it's C, and it's kind of see what happens.
Does that sound like fun to you guys? Everybody out there, you want to do that? Leave it in the comments. I think it's a great idea. And if Discordians and folks in the comments want to leave us some questions for the quiz, that would be cool. So, yeah. And we promise we won't study ahead of time. With Google, it's always open book, right? But all that being said about the Jaspers, I thought kind of like with our agates, I should probably reach close to home. And so if I reach right out the door, I can reach onto the beach and grab the beach Jaspers that we have available here on the immediate Central Oregon coast. And they are somewhat unique. Of course, there's reds and yellows and that sort of thing, just like how and greens that you'd find in other parts of the country and stuff. But there are these agates that Jaspers that look so much like agates on the outside, and then they turn out to be a Jasper on the inside, and they look like the Oregon coast agates on the outside. And so obviously they are married by the way that they were sedimentary into the host rock, which is typically basalt. And so I have a handful of them that Kyle can put up. We have the variety that, it's kind of the potato variety. In Jaspers, we find them like they do on the Yellowstone. So that I can definitely make a pledge for. We've got like, these are the big agates that we can find, but we do get the good Jaspers. And if you cut them open, they can be pretty darn interesting. I sent a little video over that it's a beach Jasper that I found and cut open, and it's not really registered right. There we go. And the minerals that can occur inside, we of course have the iron that has the valence in all different directions as far as the colors, reds and yellows, ochres, and that even black. But we also have marcasite that happens a fair amount, and it turns it green, and there's sparkles inside. And of course there are other minerals that hang out. There's a little one that I sent a video of, and this is orbicular, kind of like your rhyolites, but it can be due to what is commingling with the minerals, like cristobalite, the oolitic stuff, and blind squirrel rocks, right? Like the oolites, and zeolites, all sorts of things that like to set up in the circular fashion. And so this one I actually will probably polish up because it looks very much like poppy jasper. And so that's an example of a kind of an orbicular jasper with that kind of presence of mineral. And so also, if you saw the video where I carved a octopus out of stone, that was one of our beach jaspers. So they come very, very large, lots of silicate rich sedimentary coming into the vesicles, the larger vesicles of the basalts. And so I think those are all the ones that I brought for the beach agates. Oh, there was this other one that I also, this is an example of not only the greens from the Marcus site, but you can see like banding actually happening in this particular sample. And it's green. And then it's also, it's got, see, they continue around.
Gotta cut it.
And
Cut it.
I know this one's definitely one that I need to cut. And then of course, get out there with the wet angle grinder. But you can see up here, for one thing, it's very waxy, shiny, like one of the traits that you want to see in the very, very silicate rich jasper, and a bit even translucent. And then you've got like all of this beautiful red. And so it's green and red and white and really, really pretty. And so I take them for granted. Sometimes I'm like, yep, it's a jasper, because everybody's always like going for the big, blue black beach agates and that sort of thing here. And so, beautiful jasper, meh, anywhere else, if I was hounding, I'd be like, oh my gosh, look at this huge, beautiful jasper. But, you see them a lot here.
But one person's discards, another person's treasure.
So true. Yep. Gotta love those piles. I'm going home and here are the ones that I'm not gonna take. I love that at the trailhead or at the campground or whatever. It's always such a pleasure. Like it's a nice preview if you're just rolling up too. Like, okay.
So this is what I can find.
Yep. Yep. So that's the beach, guys. That's the Central Oregon coast in the language of Jasper.
Well, thank you for sharing and filling us in on the helpful information.
Yep.
Next person in line is Kurt.
So what do y'all want to see? I brought way more pieces than everyone else. So the first piece or the Jasper I'll show right now. Should I show like the ones I brought, or are we gonna come back around?
No, just show what you brought.
Do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So a while back, I want to say probably like 6 months ago, I did a video on where I made a dragon bloodstone cabochon. And I had a couple pieces left over. So one of my friends said he would like some dragon blood stone. So I'm making 2 small cabochons of dragon blood to send to him out in Texas. And I'll send Kyle videos on these a little bit later. And I will.
So pretty.
I will.
The dragon's blood, it makes it dragon's blood when it's green and red. Is that what it is?
Green and or like a variety of green tones and red tones. And I believe the material is from, there's 2 places it's been found, which is I think India and I think Australia are the 2 places it's from. Where these are from, I have no idea. I'd have to ask my supplier where he gets his stuff from. But those are the dragon blood jaspers that I have. And then the next 2 stones are from Oregon, which
Represent.
is yes.
Represent.
I have so many, like all my stones or half my stones are from Oregon.
That's, why Kyle and I are here probably.
Like I have a lot from Colorado and Utah, and then some a little bit of other places, but like most of the stuff that I purchase is from Oregon. and then the stuff that I've gotten from you guys. But this stuff I believe comes from Southern Oregon, and it's Freedom Jasper. It comes in ranges of blues mixed with browns, greens, and grays and white. So I'll probably make some cabochons with this material here or tumbling soon, which is a very beautiful, one of my favorites in the Jasper world. And then the other favorite is the one from the Maker Challenge, which is Blue Mountain Picture Jasper, which I think is also from Oregon. So
yeah, it's just above where you were just talking about. So if you almost go in a straight line from where Freedom Jasper comes from up to the Blue Mountains, yeah, it's like a straight line.
That's really cool.
It is like there's got to be something going on geologically, in that little ribbon of terrain, because actually it passes through where you can find some in the Sucker Creek area, same kind of material.
That's really cool.
Nice.
And one thing I want to say about this, when I was doing the Maker Challenge video, I mentioned make sure you wipe your fingerprints off the stone before you shadow box it. You got to do that. So there's a thing right in the center, and I'm gonna take it apart and clean it before I test it.
Good intentions, though.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And then my last two Jaspers, I'll make this one quick, are both from Utah. Both of them I did find. This one is a brecciated Jasper with it looks like it's a bunch of different types of Jaspers, maybe some chert mixed in there, and then also some little patches of agate kind of just combined all together. And it's a beautiful piece, and I'm saving up to get a 10-inch saw. So some of these bigger stones I'm waiting to cut, and so we'll do videos on those too.
Man, I love cutting breccia. It's always such a
you never know what you're gonna find.
You don't.
Nature's art.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, and the brecciated stuff is kind of special because it tells a very resounding story of a stone that got broken up, and then all of the fractures were healed by yet something else. And so I think that they're kind of exciting to me just because of that. It's not like I'm calm, I'm like sedimentary rock, there's some nice lines, like I'm broken. Yeah. Anyway.
Brecciated Jasper and agate, both of those are really cool.
Love them.
And then the final one, this one is a piece of red Jasper. I also found out in Utah, and there is little bitty tiny veins running throughout it of little agate, which I'll try and zoom in on that whenever I send Kyle a video. But very beautiful pieces. And I don't know if I'll ever cut that one just because I like the way it looks being tumbled. And all of these, they're not polished. They all have oil on them except for the cabochons. So yeah.
Right
just
on.
to help you guys see them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. So we can see them.
Thank you for that.
Well, thank you for showing your Jaspers, Kurt. And that leaves me, I guess.
It does.
Well, I'll have to get my own pictures and video, but basically you guys get a preview of a video that's yet to come, because I have 4 or 5 videos, or I have 4 or 5 videos worth of footage that I still have to edit. My goal was to have them all edited like weeks ago when I was weeks in, caught up, but I just didn't. So now I have all these videos in the raw. So which includes this Jasper right here. So it might be hard to tell because of the camera, but I'll put another picture or whatever right here. But I think this is Biggs. I could be wrong, because I'm really bad at identifying Jaspers. We were talking about this in our chat before our podcast. So me identifying picture Jaspers, out the window, just gone. I can tell you if it's red Jasper, if it's a green Jasper, if it's a yellow Jasper, or if it's a brown Jasper, or if it's just a picture Jasper. Like, yeah, it's a picture Jasper, no big deal. There are very few Jaspers that I can actually sort of identify. For example, I'll get to this one here in a second, but I was actually given a piece of Bruno Jasper as a gift, which I forgot about up until now. But someone gave me a small little piece of Bruno, and I'll put a picture up. I'll have to wet it and then put a picture up because this isn't polished. But supposedly, it's getting harder to find this type of Jasper. Also, supposedly, out in a pile somewhere is Bruno Jasper in the rough.
Nice.
It's somewhere at the bottom of the pile, which I'm not gonna go dig for. Anyway, back to the other Jasper. So this, I found this when I was sorting all the rocks. Not the one I currently got or recently got, but the few bottles purchases before. So I found this. I'm like, this would make good. This should polish up really nicely, and it did. So again, you guys get a sneak peek of a future video. Oh my gosh.
I cheated and I looked at the one on our chat and it was so beautiful.
Yeah, so I'll take a video. I'll put it up here. I should write down my times too. I keep forgetting. So I'll write down my times here. So this is, again, I'm assuming this is Big's Jasper because this has a lot of the different coloring. Yeah, I'll take a video and I'll post it. But basically, when I posted a community post a while back saying, which one should I polish first, and everyone wanted to see the Jasper one done first. So I did. And initially I was just gonna polish this one side and call it good, but I did not stop there. I'm like, you know what? I wonder what the rest of the piece looks like. So I went ahead and sanded all the way around the piece, and I don't regret it. I typically do not like to sand and polish entire pieces because at that point, it's almost easier just to throw in a tumbler, as I'm learning now, and just let it go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it turned out to be a very wonderful, beautiful piece. And I have it actually in the rock room, just kind of sitting on top of each other as a kind of a before and after, what it looks like. You guys should see that video, I think, week after next. Yeah. So it'll come out the week after next. I still have to edit it. I had to find the footage and then edit it because it's somewhere buried in my project jobs folder here on the laptop. But I only really planned on having this one Jasper piece for my show and tell, just because I don't really have a lot of Jaspers that I really have finished. I do have that one Bruno Jasper. I guess I probably could polish up. I do, however, I'm not gonna bother to go get it because it's outside. And I don't want to make you guys wait, but I do have an interesting looking type of Jasper like out in the pile. I should do a video on it. It's interesting. It's like a tan color. It's got some I feel like it has like slight purple hues to it.
Ooh,
nice.
Where is it from? Do you know?
I don't. It came with one of these. It came with the second estate that I bought. That much I remember because in that same estate is where the guy's like, yeah, there's some Bruno Jasper in there somewhere in one of the bags. So that's why I said it's at the bottom of the pile somewhere. But these bigger pieces, there's like a different color rind on there. Can't describe the color. I can't. It's like a weird brownish orange rind on the surface, but on the inside it's actually kind of brightly colored. Not brightly, but it's lightly colored. So maybe I'll put a picture right here. That way I don't have to get it because again, I'll do a video because videos sometimes do better than pictures, and maybe someone that has seen it before might be able to help identify it. I'm assuming it came from Oregon. So
and I know a guy that's really knowledgeable about Jaspers in that part where y'all live. I'll take a screenshot and send it to him and see if he knows.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably send you guys some, pictures so you don't have to do screenshots. Better quality.
Much better.
But it's actually funny we actually do Jaspers because I actually have a really awesome subscriber and I'm putting together she requested some Jaspers, and so that's why I made the joke about I can identify reds, greens, yellows just fine because they're simple colors, but I can't quite lift the bag up. I have like literally a bag of Jaspers right next to me, conveniently enough. That one feels like green. Is it green? No, it's red. But yeah, got red.
It feels like a green Jasper.
like green.
Wait,
I
let me see if I can.
can't do
Kind
that.
of sensing fingertips. That would be a great
Yellow.
talent.
It's like you reach into like the like muddy water. That feels like a
Mhm.
green Jasper.
Mhm.
I know that
Yeah.
there's some jagged ones in here that I know are green. That are green, and I really had to dig deep in the pile because well, they're somewhere in this bag. But yeah, I got a bunch of colored Jaspers.
I'll take your word for it.
I had sold a fair amount of the green Jaspers before, and I'm like, I really have to dig for these. I have to find them. They're somewhere in this pile, and luckily I was able to find some more, but I really had to dig, and I was finding a lot of like spider nests in the
Oh.
pile, and like bugs don't bother me too much, so I'm like, oh. And then like there was like a spider egg sac in there at one point, and the spiderling just went poof. I'm like, this sucks. Whatever. Just kept digging. But yeah, that was basically my Jasper show and tell. I'm trying to move the spotlight for myself. I'm not
Thank
gonna
you
edit
for
this out.
showing us.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for allowing me to show myself.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay. Steens.
Okay. We're gonna
Sassy.
spotlight puppy.
Hello. My name is Steens.
Look at all that energy.
Yeah, this one is not chill. And I don't think, have you guys seen Steens before?
I don't remember.
I don't think I brought him on the podcast yet. And the reason why would be because he's definitely a mover and a shaker. He's probably the alpha of the pack. And so he woo, right here, buddy. So he loves to just like, he's usually at the front of the pack when everybody's running around or starting the mischief. He's gonna start, chewing the couch apart or whatever. This guy. And yeah, he's super cool, and he looks whoa, dude, it's okay.
I got places to be.
He looks a lot like Ochiko. He's got the same kind of dark blue tick coat, but he's got like that kind of almost like Dobie or Rottweiler, eyebrows and that sort of thing. And he's a fruit bat. I wish he could put his ears up for you. Like, he's got the biggest ears, but he's like, no, not exactly sure I like what you're doing right now. So yeah, he looks like he's a radar dish. Like, he can definitely be listening out for aliens or whatever. Because yeah, these are huge ears. Oh, it's okay, buddy. Like, I really want to go back to chewing on the bone. He's got a cute smile though. Look at that. I'm cute.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yep. So Steens Mountains, over there where near where all that picture Jasper that you were talking about, Kurt, it's like the same line.
Okay.
Yep. That's what he's named after.
He's like, let me go.
Yeah. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Aw.
He does have big ears.
Yeah, huge.
Where they're just like,
Well, now that we got our dose of puppies, we can get into words of wisdom.
sounds good.
Sounds good. Yeah. Who's got wisdom?
Kurt, we can start with
Anybody?
you.
Me?
Kurt, Karen,
Oh, me? What?
flip a coin.
Hey, Kurt, you feeling wise?
Heads. No.
All right. You win.
Sure. Let me think. So I've noticed I've gotten questions over on like social media where people ask how to polish your stones without having to like having any polishing equipment. And most times I see people spraying clear coats on rocks or fluorite, and then they're like, it's not working. It's like it turned white. Don't spray any type of adhesives or any type of like clear coats on your rocks. It's just going to ruin them, and then as it dries, dust is going to collect on it, and it's not a good thing. So like use mineral oil. That's what I've been using on all of these whenever I show my show and tells. You don't if you don't know how to apply it, just like let your rock sit out in the sun heat, and then put the mineral oil on and let it sit for 24 hours, and then wash it off, and it should be a lot more vibrant than before. So mineral oil is your friend, clear coats are not.
So
that's mighty wise.
I do want to add on to that. Not as my words of wisdom, but so Rookie Rockhounding, he did a video on how to polish a stone without any equipment. I believe he used a piece of glass and some various grits, and it takes a while. It takes a long while, but you can do it. It just it's so polishing.
I want to say, didn't Yarrick also show how to do that? Yeah, there's several. Yeah,
I did one on with fluorite, and it works. Just softer stones are easier.
Yep. Because think of it this way: polishing a stone is no different than sanding wood. It's just it's a harder material. It just takes a little bit longer. You can do without equipment. Equipment is just the luxury of having it done faster.
Yep.
I mean, if you really want to get some automotive like wet dry sandpaper, and just when you're watching TV or something, just sit there and just like watch TV and just do this. I mean, hopefully your hands don't cramp up, don't get carpal tunnel, or like your carpal tunnel doesn't act up like we're doing that. But hey, it's, just try it out. I mean, at some point I wouldn't mind trying it out just to see how well I can do it.
Do it.
Okay, I guess I will.
You walked right into that one, Kyle.
I digress. Tangent over.
I'd like to try it.
Karen, your words of wisdom.
Quick. I said last week that to go with action. Like a lot of times I've myself been guilty of and seen others like spend way too much time in a planning phase when get to it already type thing. And I think that this week my head shifted to the meditate on a goal. Once you can have this thing that you want to put into action, but again, like you can get mired in the process as opposed to the goal. And it's like a scientifically researched fact that if you believe something can happen, it's more likely to. It's like that like if you've got a negative script going on and you're not sure, or I don't think I can do this, or it's not going to happen, I'm not that lucky, or whatever, then surely it won't. But they actually did a test group and everything of people that believed in a certain outcome, and statistically it was like far more favorable. So meditate on that goal. If it can happen, you can have your teeny weeny little doubt in your pocket or whatever, but like if that it can happen, it's more likely to. And the more you meditate on that, then the more likely you're going to see it all the way through. So take action and keep your eyes on the prize. Get that goal. Go get it.
I am guilty of having self-doubt on things. So it's like, we're human, but also you have to fight through it and be like, I can do this.
Yeah. Like, or, you know, I'm working really hard and I feel defeated and I have failed several times in a row. Every brilliant scientist will tell you that they failed 1,000 times before they got one, you know, positive result. And so, yeah, that negative self-talk, it totally happens, right?
Yeah.
It just, but you know, believe in the goal. Like, I know that I'm going to finish those rose quartz at some point.
Yes. Believe in the goal and take breaks.
Yeah.
At some point. I mean, they're almost done. But yeah. Well, thank you for your words of wisdom. And I don't remember if I thanked Kurt. So thank you, Kurt, too, for your words of wisdom.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Karen.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, I still haven't given my words of wisdom yet.
Oh.
But thank you for thanking.
Thank you for thanking.
Gratitude is nice.
But, you know, I think my words of wisdom will kind of go a little hand in hand with Karen. So if you think about it this way, if you do have that goal in mind and you get out of it what you put into it. And I'm very guilty of this, or lack thereof, I guess. So I'm really bad at self-promoting. Just, I'm not the best at all. Like all the stuff I do on YouTube, the rock stuff, I would love to do it full time. I have the equipment, I have the knowledge, I have the material to just, if I really, really wanted to, I could probably do it full time. The thing is, like, I'm putting only a fraction amount of the actual effort into it that I am, because I have other things going on. So for me, it's like, I would love to do this full time, but I'm not applying myself like I should be. But it doesn't mean that you couldn't do the same thing if you're working on something like a big goal. Like, put more effort into it. If you want to make something happen, just do it. For me, I don't like using the word lazy. I'm preoccupied mentally somewhere else. And for me, it's like, I could have done it. Like, I had like a month break in between my last job and like this current job. Like, I could have like pushed myself super hard and be like, you know what, let's do this. But like my mind process, like, no, I'd like to have like a job. Because, you know, there are a lot of people like that, like making those risks. I'm not a risk taker, even though I have my doubts, but I also know that I could do it. Amy knows I could do it, but I'm not ready for it yet. Down the road, sure.
Yeah. Just keep that as the, you know, the brass ring that you'll get on the other way around the merry-go-round. But like, being rational, like, that's part of meditating on your goal, is like, yeah, I'm not going to be, you know, able to like instantaneously say, have a horse ranch, you know. That's like, okay, you know, how far away is your goal? Be kind to yourself. You needed the break, you know, so take the break. Like Kurt said, you know, get your rests in.
Yeah.
When it doesn't seem like it's going well, take a break.
Yes. Do something else.
Yes.
Come back to it later.
Yeah.
But also going on that, you know, if you put more into it, you get more out of it. I mean, it sounds weird, but if you look at Mr. Beast, just using him as an example right here, he slept, ate, drank, breathed YouTube. That's all he did. And he always aimed at making better videos. And he's said in interviews that he's done horrible videos that he felt that after filming it, editing, and getting all put together, he just didn't think it was a good video, so he didn't post it. But he's always applying himself to doing the next best thing, and he is always looking at his processes to make them better. You know, what makes a good video, and then he'll post it. And look at him. I mean, I think today he reached 100 million subscribers.
Oh my gosh. That's
wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
He did a live.
Last time I checked, it was like 80 million.
Yeah, no, he
that
got
was
100
like months ago.
He had 100 million today, and it was interesting. I rewatched like the last part of the live. It was like a 30-minute long live. I skimmed through it, and he was 2,000 away, and all of a sudden it dropped like 30,000 subscribers, but then it came back, and you're just watching this ticker, like thousands are subscribing, like just like that. I'm like, could you imagine just like gaining like 30,000 in the span of like 10 minutes. Oh
That's
man,
crazy.
it was crazy to watch. It was cool, but you gotta kind of admire him for the fact that he put a lot into it and he got a lot out of it. So food for thought. But that's my words of wisdom. Kind of all over the place, but that's my words of wisdom.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So Karen, if you would do the honors of taking us out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for another one of these podcasts. It's so fun to talk about the Jasper, although we know that there's a lot of Jaspers left. And there's a whole section of Jaspers that aren't Jaspers, like the Rhyolites, that I would love to go over for another podcast. Let us know what you'd like to see as a theme in the comments. We'll probably do another Jasper one, but there's a lot of themes out there. And so when we decide to have another theme, will it be yours? And so leave that, go join our Discord by hitting the email in the address. You can also send us or email in the description. The address isn't there. But definitely also send us your show and tells for the next viewer show and tell to that same email address. Meanwhile, get out there and find some killer rocks and meditate on those goals and take your breaks and all the good stuff. And we will see you next week.
Rock
When
on.
Theo says,
Raisin bread claims more lives than sharks every year. A spoon is just a sad
Rock on.
spatula.
Rock on.
Cells
Rock on.
is door.
Meow.